It looks like people are still filtering in, but it's starting to slow down a little bit. So we'll get started. Again, welcome everyone to our last BayREN Forum of 2023. I don't know how we got to December, but here we are. My name is Emily Alvarez. I'm a program manager with StopWaste, which is the BayREN representative for Alameda County, and one of the organizers of today's forum through the Codes and Standards program. Take you quickly through our agenda today. So we are starting off with an introduction to BayREN. Then we'll go into our first panel, which is on panel optimization and electric service upsizing. So we'll hear a little bit about the basics of what that all means, see some case studies in the single family and multifamily sector, and then take a look at how we might be able to make this a little bit easier. We'll have a Q&A for that first panel and then a break. The second panel will get into equipment siting and permitting. So looking at a few of the other hurdles that we might face to residential decarbonization. So looking at things like siting of equipment, how we might look at zoning codes differently, and how we might make permitting easier. We'll have a Q&A for that session, and then we'll close out. So who is BayREN? BayREN is a local government collaboration of the 9 Bay Area counties that utilizes ratepayer funds from the California Public Utilities Commission to run energy efficiency and electrification programs. BayREN aims to build the capacity of local governments to work on energy efficiency, reduce carbon emissions to meet state and local climate goals, and promote healthy and energy efficient buildings to better our communities. BayREN, as a local government collaboration, has a representative from each of those 9 counties. So today we'll introduce you to them, and we'll have a little bit of an icebreaker question so that we can get to know each other a little bit better, because the BayREN County rep would be the person you would go to if you have follow-up questions. So today's question is, what is a common obstacle that you hear to residential electrification, aside from cost, and who has brought it up? So I'll start. In Alameda County, we are also the lead for BayREN's multifamily program. And so we do look at provide technical assistance and understand how we might be able to upgrade and electrify multifamily properties. In those cases, most in-unit electrical subpanels in multifamily housing are smaller than standalone single-family panels and may not be able to handle additional load for electrification. For larger multifamily properties, increasing this capacity for all in-unit subpanels may trigger larger front-of-meter service upgrades like transformers, which sometimes need to be upgraded in single-family cases, but less likely to happen for one property at a time versus for multifamily, one property can trigger a lot more electrical infrastructure upgrade needs. So next, I will turn it over to Barry Hooper from San Francisco.
Thanks, Emily. Good morning. I'm Barry Hooper, a senior green building coordinator with the San Francisco Environment Department. And I'm just +1 to Emily's comments there. Definitely, that is the core issue that we face, since 2/3 of housing units in San Francisco in multifamily. But to avoid totally repeating, a challenge we also have in single family is electrical contractors, with exceptions, are not prepared to systematically help their clients plan for and optimize the use of their existing panels. So there's a bias to assuming panels need to be replaced or upsized. And then, unrelated news, plumbers are the ones who are most commonly installing replacement water heaters, and they are even farther removed from that question of how to make effective use of the existing panel. So, there's just is a lack of systematic access to advice for the homeowner to navigate that in the least cost and also least impact on the grid manner. So really appreciate events like today.
All right. Thank you, Barry. Let's go to Dory from Sonoma County.
Morning, everyone. I'm Dory Estrella. I'm an analyst here at County of Sonoma's Climate Action and Resiliency Division. And I manage the education outreach along with some BayREN programs. I'm going to hop on Barry's board and talk. I think that the lack of knowledge of contractors and people in general. So we do a lot of outreach and workshops, and we've done them on panel optimization. So I'm really excited to see that as one of the first topics this morning, because we need more people that understand load sharing and panel and load management technologies, to be able to get these projects installed and up and running on a faster scale. So glad for forums like this and glad to be part of it this morning.
Great, thank you, Dory. Adam from Contra Costa County.
Thanks, Emily, and good morning, everyone. My name is Adam Scarborough. I'm the sustainability planner for Contra Costa County. And one of the common obstacles that I hear about a lot is the overall complexity of the permitting process when homeowners are trying to electrify their homes. This includes specific understanding of specific requirements around the permitting work. There's a lot of paperwork and fees, and often, well, maybe not oftentimes, but in some cases, there are delays in the inspection once the work is done. In our county, in 2022, we went all digital for our permitting process. So that adds another layer of or a challenge if some homeowner is trying to upgrade their home and they're not comfortable with computers or they don't have access to one. So yeah, and permitting is one of the themes of this forum. So looking forward to hearing about it. Thank you.
Valero with San Mateo County.
Hi, good morning. Someone stopped my camera. Okay. Thank you. Hi, good morning, everyone. Alero, San Mateo County Office of Sustainability. I am our rep for BayREN for most of all residential codes and green labeling. And as far as this goes, I'm going to talk a little bit about contractors, and they seem to be navigating a bit of an obstacle course when it comes to the different jurisdictions and the way their building officials interpret the code. And then just even the way that they interpret it means that the permitting process looks a little different across the board. And when we're trying to scale electrification, just having these little hurdles and obstacles make it a little difficult. So even for like some of the more simple swaps, might not seem as simple if a jurisdiction's building department isn't as familiar with some of the technology.
Okay, thanks, Laro. Brianne from Santa Clara County.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brianne Boyle. I'm the BayREN Codes and Standards rep for Santa Clara County. And one of the common obstacles that we heard in a survey that we sent out to residents for electrification was that they simply just didn't have enough information to know how to start the process. So I think having more information on like the permitting and how that works would be really helpful for them. The other obstacle that we commonly hear is that renters, folks that rent their place or even just rent a room in someone's home, they don't have the power to make the decision to electrify. Thank you.
Thanks. Nandi from Solano County.
Hello, somebody disabled my camera, but it's okay. I'll just talk. Hi, my name is Nandi Loggins. I'm one of your Solano County reps. The question that I get from building inspectors and single family homeowners is, I receive a lot is, can their homes' electrical panels and breakers handle the extra power loads without deal-breaking upgrade complications, such as upgrading their panels, sometimes upgrading the electrical panels necessary to ensure that it can handle the increased electric load of an all-electric home. So that is a concern that a lot of people have in this county is, do they have to upgrade their panels in order for them to be able to do this?
Thanks, Nandi. And then I went in a little bit of a weird order because we take turns hosting these BayREN forums. And so this one is being kind of co-hosted and organized by Marin County and Napa County. And so I'll turn it over to our Marin County rep, Kellen.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kellen Damon. I'm a program coordinator with the Marin County Community Development Agency sustainability team, where I work on all things BayREN. So yeah, a lot of, what especially Emily and Barry said about folks being concerned about their neighborhood transformers needing to be upgraded. That's something we've seen. We're in a unique position because we run our own electrification rebate program called Electrifying. So we interface with a lot of Marin residents who are applying to that program and doing these projects. So we get a lot of good feedback and insights into the struggles that folks have. A couple other things that I'll add is there's some kind of misperceptions out there, like whether a heat pump space heater will be suitable in our climate zone, which is pretty mild. So that's kind of a misconception. And also just the assumption that a panel upgrade will need to happen if I electrify anything instead of kind of doing the homework first. So yeah, that's it for us. Thanks, Emily.
All right, and Ryan from Napa.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ryan Melendez with Napa County Planning, Building, and Environmental Services Department, and I work on climate action planning here in Napa, and the BayREN representative for all the BayREN programs, including codes and standards. So excited to put this forum on. And one obstacle I've heard a lot from homeowners is that there's been an increase in education for electrification, and they're wanting to upgrade home equipment and their appliances from gas to electric. But I've actually heard several instances of contractors trying to dissuade them and persuade them back towards gas. And this could be, behavioral, but I think a lot of it could be just lack of training with newer technologies and these load calculations and load sharing with panel optimization. So I'm really excited to hear about this forum and from our speakers today. Thank you.
Great. And last, we have the lead of the codes program from ABAG MTC, Karen Christensen.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, as Emily said, I work at ABAG MTC. I manage the Codes and Standards program for BayREN. I'm not going to add more on. We've heard a lot from all of our 9 counties, but I just want to thank you all for coming to our last regional forum of 2023. And do want to encourage you to complete our post-event survey. It's 3 hours away till afterwards, but we're going to be starting to plan the BayREN regional forums for 2024 starting next week. So would love to get your feedback to help us with that. So thanks again.
All right. And if any of those resonate with you, feel free to drop them in the chat. And hopefully we'll get some answers towards those during the forum. So BayREN has 6 programs currently across the residential, commercial, and code sectors, but look out for 4 new programs launching next year that will serve commercial and public buildings, as well as work towards greening the workforce. Today's forum is brought to you by the BayREN Codes and Standards program, so I'm going to present a little bit more about what that has to offer, but information about all of BayREN's programs can be found at bayren.org or contacting your county representative. So the codes program broadly aims to increase energy code compliance and share best practices and develop resources for local jurisdictions who wish to go above the code. The codes program provides free live and on-demand classes for a variety of energy code and permitting topics, and many are available for getting CEUs. You can contact us to schedule a training for your building department staff. Take a look at our BayREN events page to see upcoming trainings. I'm sure we'll be scheduling ones for 2024 soon, but you can access those on-demand ones right now. The codes program also provides technical assistance and free engineering services to help local governments understand how to move their municipal buildings towards zero net energy or zero net carbon through energy retrofits, electrification, and renewables. It provides template language for requests for proposals or owner project requirements to achieve these goals for new construction as well. And before we get started, I think we're all pretty familiar with Zoom, but we will not have your cameras on. Please use the chat feature to interact with panelists and other participants, but we ask that you put your questions in the Q&A because then it's a little bit easier for us to organize and make sure it's answered. We will have a break for Q&A at the end of each panel. These are just a look at where the different buttons are located that we ask you to use throughout the webinar today. A quick disclaimer, the views expressed in these presentations are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the position of the Association of Bay Area Governments, the Bay Area Regional Energy Network, or the jurisdiction that BayREN represents. Any questions pertaining to the views and information in the presentation should be directed to the authors. The webinar today is being recorded. All the presentations and materials will be emailed to everyone who is in attendance and also posted on our website with the recording. So you will be able to access these materials later. So before we jump into our speakers, I just wanted to provide a little bit of context that we have been taking this entire year to explore electrification challenges. With the state's ambitious decarbonization goals, there's a lot of talk about electrification. However, even if everyone was completely sold on the concept of electrification and installing heat pumps, there are other issues at play to electrify our existing building stock at scale. This year, BayREN's quarterly forums have taken a deeper dive into some of those related topics. First, we looked at decommissioning the gas system, then understanding the potential grid implications of large-scale electrification, then how our electric buildings can also be resilient in the face of climate change and potential power outages. Today, we are discussing several common barriers that are faced in residential electrification, when and how to upgrade panels and electrical infrastructure, and how zoning and permitting can affect a property's ability to electrify. Reminder, as I just mentioned, that all of the previous forum recordings can be found on our website. And now I'll just turn it over to our first panel to get into this morning's topic.